Let's get started. So, we are here to look at HR analytics, the scope for it, and how we will go about doing it, and how it is going to improve us in what we are already doing. So, let me introduce myself. I am Manish Sharma. I'm a core team member of the Scholars Pro team. So, let's start with the very basic. What is HR analytics? So the very basic definition is HR analytics is the application of analytical techniques to enable decision making with human resources and workforce data. So remember that is very important. We should be able to make decisions. It's not just producing fancy charts, uh, but the numbers that we produce, the insights that we produce, that should help the decision makers in making the right decisions and taking the correct actions. So I'll give you an example. For example, traditionally, hiring has been a very HR intensive work, and there's a traditional way that departments approach it, that this is the process that needs to be followed. But if we add another layer of analytics to it, we will be able to understand the different components of hiring. Is the time to hire too high? Are we hiring from the right institutions? What is the impact of the candidate demographic on hiring and attrition rate? So once we are able to quantify this, we there are two things we can do. We will be able to predict who is a good hire, who is not a good hire, and we will be, most importantly, we will be able to improve the processes. We will be able to improve the hiring process to make it more efficient. So let's start from the very beginning. How many times have you heard people say that people are their most important asset? How many times have you heard your senior management and company leadership say this? Right? So a lot. This is a favorite tagline of many industry leaders, uh, and they are not just saying it; they actually believe in that, because you are what your team is. Okay, a single person can only go so far. They need a team, a very good team. So definitely, this is true. People are the most valuable asset for a company. But let's look at the other side. When you are evaluating a business, what are the different aspects that you look at? Okay, this, what do the potential stakeholders look at? If somebody wants to buy a share in that company or invest or merge with a company, the primary things that they look at is balance sheets, income statements, cash flows, equity, and assets, movable and immovable assets. So yeah, so there is something missing here, right? Even though people acknowledge that people are important to them, it somehow doesn't figure in the list of metrics that are used to evaluate a company. So the first problem is quantifying value. So HR people, uh, they are usually thought to be of a very high EQ. They connect with people very well. Yeah. So the problem is quantifying value. HR has been more attitude driven. It has been more opinion driven. It is more experience driven. Okay. But what is missing has been value. We have to quantify value. If we say that doing a particular thing is going to increase the quality of hires, up until now it has been just an insight based on anecdotal evidence. It is also biased by various human biases. Okay, what how people will listen to you will be when you are able to quantify it, that if we improve this process, the quality of new hires is going to increase by 10%. That is what we want. Okay, so I'll very briefly talk about a few things. So what are the different work streams that analytics will help you with? Okay, so there are a lot of different areas, and I firmly believe analytics can help each and everything, not just HR but anything else, provided we have data. Okay, you have data, we can sing with analytics. Okay, so these are some different work streams like recruitment and optimization, compensation, performance management, human capital engagement, risk management, strategic policies. Okay, so I'll give you one example, and I'm sure that if you have researched about HR analytics before, you'll be knowing this, that very advanced organizations, Google, Starbucks, Facebook, these are the forefronts of HR analytics. Okay, nobody is doing HR analytics like them because they have understood the value of it and they're investing resources in it. Okay, there it's not like one person wants to do it. There is a motivation from the top leadership. But I'm digressing. These organizations are able to quantify the impact of engagement. Okay, so they are able to say that if we increase employee engagement by 1%, our profit is going to increase by 30% or $500 million. Okay, so do you see the value of this? Traditionally, HR managers would think that we have to improve employee engagement. Yeah. CXOs will listen to that. They will agree with you, but nobody will do anything about it. And it's not the fault of CXOs. It's our fault too, because we're not quantifying it. If we are able to quantify that 1% employee engagement is going to have such a huge impact, then everybody is going to focus on that. Leadership is going to be with you. Okay. All right. So I'll just talk about some misconceptions. Okay, the first misconception is that you need to be a statistical expert to do HR analytics. Absolutely not true. Okay, you don't need to be a statistical expert to do analytics. My feeling is you don't need to delve much deeper into analytics. You need to know how you can apply analytics intelligently. Trust me, analytics is very democratized now. What I mean by democratized is that everybody can do it. I told you, right? Excel, R, these are open source softwares. Millions of people are doing it. Doing it is no longer difficult. Everybody has access to good computers. Everybody has access to open source softwares. You don't need to learn how a model is doing certain things, which is statistics or machine learning. You don't need to bother with that. You need to know how to apply those things intelligently. You have to know the limitations. That's true. And that is what you need to learn. But by no means you need to delve into statistics or how different models are working. Not at all. I will not recommend that at all. Okay. The second thing is, which I already talked about, basically HR deals with attitudes and experience and these can be measured. Absolutely false. If you do analytics, some people might oppose you, saying that analytics is too academic, it uses complex methods, people don't understand it, so they will not listen to it. I agree. This might be the case, but it is only the case because people are not able to explain things clearly. You don't have to use jargon at all. You don't have to say those complex words at all. That is the beauty of it. After doing your analysis and all, you can present it in a way that everybody can understand. Okay, and you can do that. And this is if you're missing some data, we'll not be able to do analytics. As I said, we work with incomplete data all the time. Of course, the more data you have, the better, but you will never get all the data and you don't need all the data. The incremental benefit of getting more data keeps decreasing. Okay. Yeah, and so it depends that on your outlook. You have to change your outlook. That is what I have felt with HR professionals. They have to change the way they think. If they do that and they are able to inculcate analytics in what they are doing, they will be rock stars. Okay, so I will reiterate again, we don't want to make you an analytics expert. I will never do that. I want to equip you with skills that can help you do your job better and drive changes. Okay, you should be seen as a solution provider and someone who can drive a change. Okay, so let's talk a bit about the demand. So this was with from some Deloitte study. So 3 in 4 firms believe that they need HR analytics. Okay, but only 8% firms believe that they are strong in it. So you see the gap, 75%, 3 in 4, 75% firms believe that they absolutely need HR analytics, but only 8% think that they are strong for it. Okay, and what is the reason for that? Yeah, and what is the reason that a lot of firms are not doing it? Because a lot of HR professionals found that they don't find the people with the right skills to fill positions of HR analytics. Okay, they're not able to find the necessary skill sets in their candidates. Okay. Yeah, so look, I am from the analytics industry. Analytics is exploding like anything else, only because it is bringing value in it. And over the years I have seen that even HR is more and more keen to include analytics in what they are doing. So they, HR does not need to change what they are doing, it's only they need to change how they are doing it. Okay. Yeah, this is it. Thank you very much for attending this.